Welcome to this PowerPoint video presentation on learning architecture. Let's get started. What is course learning architecture? It is essentially a model of the course learning experience, from the way the progression of learning is structured, to the intended cognitive engagement for each lesson, as well as to the learning culture being promoted and enabled. It is comparatively more in depth than the course sequencing diagram, which only really shows the relationship between IOs and the alternatives. To use a metaphor, a course sequencing diagram is the floor plan, while the course learning architecture is the 3D technical drawing. And just like architectural or engineering drawings, the purpose of the course learning architecture is to enable course development. Its applications are planning the foundations of a new course to enable and ensure optimal development, and reviewing and revising the foundations of an existing course to optimize learning outcomes. So then, how do you illustrate or construct the course learning architecture? It starts with the course program, examining the IOs and teaching points, then determining the corresponding solo level of the intended outcome for each lesson. It helps to write each of these down on a Post-it note, like so. From here, you then examine the teaching points and activities to identify anticipated levels of cognitive load. Again, it helps to draw these on Post-its, like so. From here, there's just one last thing you'll have to map. So then, you go back to the teaching points and activities to identify intended or unintended hidden curriculum. Again, write these down on Post-its for ease of review later on, like so. Now you have a model of the course learning architecture, which you can review and base your course development efforts on. Let's now review the course learning architecture with the aim to develop the course. Here we have the model of the course learning architecture from before. Looking at this model, we can see that this and this needs development, particularly because they are not structured to enable effective learning experiences or promote the desired learning culture. So in order to develop these lessons, we first have to conceptualize the optimal structure for these lessons. Now we have a course learning architecture that progresses from simple to complex, where the cumulative cognitive load is optimal for cognitive development, and where the hidden curriculum develops and reinforces desired attitudes. From here, we go back to the course program to develop the first section against the revised learning architecture. The new activities should reflect the intended learning architecture. Once again, developing this section against the revised learning architecture, making sure that the new learning activities reflect the intended learning architecture. Give it a go.